Hello, everyone. For this week's discussion, C1B1T1, I wanted to examine how to interpret a SQL transaction log. I want to discuss the process of determining where a transaction might have failed, because if it occurs, it's crucial that we take all the steps that the transaction took and reverse them. This would then restore the database to its original state. We just want to make sure the transaction doesn't stay in a partial state and compromise our data integrity. The goal here is to maintain the transaction's atomicity and basically ensure that it's indivisible or irreducible to the point that either the entire transaction succeeds or nothing happens at all. So let's review this log here that I have in front. We know that there is a total of 4 transactions that are processed. So we see 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we know that it's segmented by columns of information. So we have transaction ID, the time of the transaction, the action, the record updated, and a before and after image. But let's imagine that the transaction ID number 2 failed at 10:10. So from this log, we want to focus on all parts of the transaction number 2, transaction ID 2. And so I'm going to highlight all the parts. This is part of 2. This one is 2. And finally, this 4th line. And so what we want to do next is strike out any parts that might have happened after the failure time, which was 10:10. So now we see here, this was the reported time, so this happened after. Gonna cross that out. And then clear out the start, since that doesn't denote any changes in the data. So up here, we're gonna just cross out, oh, my bad. Just cross out start. So now we just see that there's 2 inputs. One at 10:04, updating the location, and the other at 10:10, updating the condo unit. Our next thought will be to undo these commands with the opposite action, which is gonna be revert. So the opposite of update would be revert. But we also want to do the actions in reverse order as they appeared. So we align the changes. So basically what would it look like is the 10:10 would come first and then the 10:4. Just gonna highlight those as well just to focus on what exactly we're changing. So update and update, but we would perform this one first and then this one second. Once we revert all the updates, it's going to basically perform a successful rollback of the information or the data to the original records. And see. Yep, that's pretty much it.